Good morning. It's been just over 2 weeks since I last ran the Suffolk County Marathon. My knees were actually really bothering me after that race. That's the first time that happened to me. I iced them up, I rested a lot. I've actually only run once in the last 2 weeks, like 2.5 weeks, which is kind of crazy for me. So I just did 2 miles on the treadmill this past weekend, just feeling it out, trying to make sure my knees were okay. So I decided to come to the trail today, run on a little bit softer surface, and enjoy nature's beauty today. But it's actually really cold and windy. I wasn't expecting it to be this cold today. So let's get this running.
Day turning into night, eyes closed tight, open for the first time, new skins for new wine, struggling with the norm. fast. Find rest inside this room of white. You'll see in time. First light.
Well, that was exactly what I needed that day. I kind of needed to push Control-Alt-Delete on my running and reset things a bit. So it was nice to get out into nature on the trails. I didn't have any music with me, and just soaking in the sights and running for the sake of running, not paying attention to my pace. So it was nice to just get out there and kind of relax and take in those miles. I really don't run trails all that often, but I probably should do it more. Just it's better for your legs, give yourself a little bit of a break. Also a change in scenery. It's a more refreshing kind of being in the woods than, you know, running through a neighborhood and worrying about cars. So that's one thing. I wore the Hoka Speed Goat 4 in Gore-Tex for that run. I've had this shoe for a while, but I didn't do a review of it because I just don't run trails all that often. This shoe after that run was a little more than 5 miles, about 5.5 miles. I have about 46 miles on this shoe right now, which is the most of any of the trail shoes that I have. I also have the Adidas Terrex Speed Ultra. That shoe I only have 16 miles on right now. And behind me, the New Balance Summit Unknown in Gore-Tex, I've got about 36 miles on those. So my trail shoes don't get a lot of use, so I need to start doing some more of that. One thing with this one, the grip on it is absolutely great. You know, so for a trail, this has that Vibram rubber that's covered in lugs, really grippy. You can run on any kind of surface with this. I actually purchased this shoe more for winter running because it's pretty much waterproof. It's basically a tank of a shoe. It's very heavy though. This is probably the heaviest shoe that I have. Weighs in at 14.22 ounces or 403.5 grams. So that is a big boy. So this shoe definitely feels heavy in hand, but I'm not that worried about that when I'm running on trails because I'm generally not trying to run as fast as I can when I'm running on a trail. It's more important that it's supportive and grippy, and this shoe is definitely that. This has a very sturdy heel counter. You can't really move that at all. The tongue is kind of like a plasticky, gusseted tongue that the laces go through. That doesn't move at all, which sometimes is an issue with trail shoes because you have so much going on side to side and up and down. This really does stay in place very well. It's very planted, has a nice wide footprint, so it's very stable for a trail shoe, even though it does have a high stack height. This has 32 ounces of stack in the heel and 28 in the forefoot for a 4mm drop. So it kind of has that Hoka recipe of thick EVA, not a very high drop, and a little bit of a rocker shape. In all my runs with this shoe, I've never experienced any kind of rubbing or blisters or anything like that. It is a little bit narrow in the toe box, as Hoka shoes tend to be. Since this has the Gore-Tex upper, it's a little bit rough, you know, to the touch, but basically it's going to be very durable and help to prevent your feet from getting wet, you know, when you're running in the snow or in the mud or other kind of wet conditions that you might encounter when running on a trail. So that Hoka shoe to me is very solid overall. It's not super soft. A lot of times Hoka EVA can be on the softer side. That shoe is a little bit more firm, but that's all right for me in a trail shoe. I have the Adidas Terrex Speed Ultra. This is what I would use if I was trying to run fast on trails. It's significantly lighter. This one comes in at 304 grams. 10.76 ounces. So that's actually very light for a trail shoe. This is as light as some of like the daily trainers that I have. This one still has that grippy outsole. They put Boost in the heel for a little bit more cushioning, but this shoe's also on the firmer side. Very narrow in the upper, but it's a really tight fitting, good shoe to run fast and very nimble on the trail. The Suffolk County Marathon was the third marathon that I've run now. I'd won in each of the last 3 years. But it was the first time that after the race, my knees were bothering me after the race. I've never had an issue with my knees before. There was some rubbing there, just kind of like behind my kneecaps. I think it may have been runner's knee. So I iced them for a while and tried to stay off them. I was hoping it wasn't a serious injury, and it seems to be that that's the case, that it's not a serious injury because I started running again. I'm doing the Peloton more, and they haven't been bothering me. So knock on wood, it's going to stay that way. One thing I learned after the fact, though, too, is that course is a lot of concrete rather than just asphalt, and apparently concrete is much harder than asphalt. Neither one of them is great for you to run on for your knees, but concrete is even stiffer. I don't think I'm going to do that marathon again just because the wind is an X factor there going out over the bridge down by the water. It happened to be very windy on that day. So I put in for the lottery for the Chicago Marathon. We'll see if I get into that one. I'll find out on December 7th. But hopefully there will not be an extreme weather event if I run that race next year. Now I don't have any more races scheduled for the rest of the year, so I'm kind of just been taking it easy, putting in some miles over the winter, lower speed, try and build up my aerobic base again. I picked up a couple stability shoes recently that I've been using. I already did a review of the Asics Kayano 29, that's on my channel here, but at the same time I picked up the Saucony Guide 15, and after that I actually got the Saucony Tempest, and this is one that I'm actually pretty excited about because it has the Power on PB foam. That's the same foam that was in the Saucony Speed 1 and 2 before they changed it in the Speed 3, but they basically put a carrier foam around it on the outside to kind of add more stability, but it has that really great Power Run PB foam that I love from those first two versions of the Speed. It's also on the flexible side. The upper is very comfortable, and this is light for a stability shoe. This one's coming in at 10.71 ounces, and the guide here is 10.95. So these two shoes are also on the lighter side for stability. So I'm probably going to do a video soon comparing all these stability shoes and seeing how they kind of match up against each other. So that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.